Salut, je m'appelle Hussein.
Je suis Hassan.
Welcome back to another episode of A Chill's podcast, where we talk about different cities and cultures from all over the world. This episode is about Le France, or France. Aix-en-Provence is situated in the south of France. You can walk around peaceful gardens, appreciate work in art galleries, and shop at local markets. There are also hundreds of fountains. Aix-en-Provence is called the City of Thousand Fountains. Please enjoy. Kim, how are you?
I'm great, thanks. And you?
Yeah, we're doing great. And thank you for doing this.
Well, you're welcome. It's a pleasure. It's been a while, a few years, so it's great to hear from you guys.
Yeah, and first thing first, how to say it properly, the place,
Where I'm from, Aix-en-Provence.
Aix-en-Provence.
Nice, yeah, good pronunciation.
I see.
It's not easy
Thank you.
to say because it's quite long.
Mhm.
So yeah, Aix,
Mhm.
like the letter
Aix.
X,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Provence
so-
is the region.
I see. Mm-hmm.
Aix kind of comes from aqua, like water,
Mm-hmm.
because it was an ancient Roman thermal city where there was a lot of water. So there's many fountains in this city. There's more than 100 fountains, even though it's quite a small city.
Yeah, and it's not far from Marseille, right?
Yeah, that's right. So they're both in the same region in Provence, and Marseille is a big port city of around a million people. And they are close, like 20 minutes drive.
20 minutes.
Or
Wow.
30, maybe. Depends how fast you go, I guess.
Okay. Kim, can you
Yeah.
briefly talk about yourself and where are you from?
Sure. So I'm Kim. I'm 31 years old. I'm half Irish, half French.
Mhm.
I was born in Germany, but I moved to France when I was really young. So now I've been living in Aix-en-Provence since I'm 8. And I really like traveling and learning languages. Now I work as an English teacher in a high school. And yeah, I met you guys in Tajikistan when I was working in Afghanistan at the time. And it was great to meet you guys. And I was learning Farsi,
Yeah.
so I know a bit Tajiki, even though I've not been practicing that much. But yeah, that was great. And now I came back in France, in Aix-en-Provence.
And how to say hi in a language? Bonjour or how?
Yeah, bonjour. Jour is day, and bon is good. So it's literally good day. You can also
day.
say salut,
Salut.
kind of like salute. Salut is more informal.
And do you also say like how are you doing or this kind of stuff?
Like ça va?
Ça va? Yeah.
Salut, ça va?
Salut. I see.
And
Yeah.
then you can answer ça va, ça va.
Yeah. If you remember in Tajikistan, our greeting is too long. We say salam shmo nazm shmo durust shmo
Yeah,
nazm.
so
it takes a lot of things. Time.
Yeah, because there's many. You say it many times in different ways, I guess.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
I guess here it's shorter in general. Just salut, ça va, ça va.
And what's the common way of greeting people? Do you shake hands or do you also kiss each other?
Yeah, actually, that's funny because in France it's usually if it depends. It really depends on the region of France. And also the customs between friends or family. Usually men would shake hands together.
Yeah.
or kissing on the cheeks. And that's kind of confusing because it's like first right cheek or left cheek, or the opposite in a different region, or in some people, in some places 2 kisses, some places 1 kiss, or 3 kisses, or 4 kisses. So it can be really confusing actually sometimes.
And what about your place? I mean, in Aix-en-Provence.
Here usually it's 2 kisses, left cheek and right cheek. And before it was not so common between men, and now it's more common between men. If you're kind of closer friends,
Yeah,
also men do it together. Yeah,
I see.
but it's a really confusing things for people who visit France, or because they're not used to that usually. Like, for example, British people, they never do that, so they find it really strange. Anyway.
Yeah. I think it would be really strange if somebody from Tajikistan would go there and a French guy would kiss a Tajik guy.
Yeah. And usually, if you meet for the first time, you will just shake hands.
Yeah.
Because you don't really know. That will not. But if it's a woman, then you would probably do 2 kisses, even if it's the first time you meet.
Yeah.
Some women would shake hand, but it's less common. Maybe it's more formal, like in a business setting or something. But normally, the first time you meet a woman, you would kiss the 2 cheeks, and then 2 women together. Also, they don't shake hands; they just kiss.
Yeah.
That's not the case anymore with the coronavirus these days, but hopefully it will be back to this tradition soon, because it's nice in a way.
Yeah. And what are the other things do you think might surprise foreigners?
It's true that that's one big thing, and some things that are a bit strange that we eat, like very strong cheese. The frogs and snails is not really that common to eat them. It's kind of a stereotype. Here people go on strike a lot. I don't know if you've heard about that. It's kind of a tradition here.
And do you eat cheese every day?
Almost, yes. I guess drinking wine at dinner.
Yeah.
It's common, yeah. And then, okay, of course it depends on every family, but traditionally it's true that maybe 1 glass at dinner, and between the main meal and dessert you eat some bread and cheese.
Yeah.
That's common and traditional.
Yeah. And you mentioned wine, and people from age like 18, they are allowed to drink, or maybe 16?
Yeah. Even younger. I mean 16 officially.
Officially.
Officially you can drink kind of not very strong alcohol when you're 16.
Yeah.
Maybe the strongest one when you're 18.
I see.
But I remember going to the shops maybe at 15, and the guy would sell us some vodka. And that was okay at the time. Or even the police, they stopped us when we were drinking.
Yeah.
And they asked us, "So how old are you?" We would say 15. And they say, "Okay, you shouldn't do this," but we all did it when we were your age also, so it's okay.
Is it true that you want to eat and drink the things only from your province?
No. I think there's a lot of diversity of what people eat from food from everywhere. Then of course it depends on the people, on the families, but I find that most people eat many different foods from different places.
Hmm. Yeah, and I also heard that Aix-en-Provence is like most desirable city in France to live in. Is that true?
Yeah, it's true that it's very nice and the weather is very good
Mm-hmm.
and there's beautiful nature.
Yeah.
It's peaceful, so it's true that it's a very popular place. It was popular also for painters,
Mm-hmm.
famous painters like Cézanne, for example, who painted there's a famous mountain
Mm-hmm.
near the town called La Sainte Victoire.
Mm-hmm.
So it's also famous for that, famous for lavender.
Mm-hmm. What kind of people do you think would be interested to visit Aix-en-Provence? I mean, for example, if you like hiking, Tajikistan is a good place. And for what kind of tourists do you think Aix-en-Provence would be interesting to visit?
Yeah, it's true that as I was saying, it's famous for some famous painters that lived here.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're interested in art, it's an interesting place for that. You can see the workshop of the painter
Mm-hmm.
and the places he painted as well. Um, so the region is famous for this. It's nice to go also walking in nature,
Mm-hmm.
to try some delicacies, some food,
Yeah.
I suppose. So it's true. It's a really popular place for tourism
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because it's pretty and the weather is nice. It's almost never rains here.
Mm-hmm. Do you have winter?
Yeah, there is. It's usually sunny,
Mm-hmm.
even if it gets a bit cold. Like it can be -5 minimum,
Mm-hmm. But no
and
snow.
there's a little bit of snow.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, a little bit. Not even every year,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it's sunny 300 days per year.
Wow.
It's like Hojian,
Yeah, similar to
our
Hojian.
hometown.
Yeah, our hometown.
Mm-hmm.
If you could choose three aspects of your culture to put in a time box for the future, what would you put in it?
I guess it's been nice to have some nice foods like maybe a nice bottle of wine and some cheese.
Mm-hmm.
That's quite stereotypical, but
Yeah.
and I was also thinking it'd be nice if it's still if it'd be possible to still have the right to be on strike and to have this freedom of expression. That's really important in France, and I hope it will still exist in the future
Mm-hmm.
to be able to say what you want in the media, etc.
Uh-huh.
And to even though it's bad that people complain a lot here because there's a lot of good things, sometimes I find it annoying that people complain, but at the same time I think it's good because it makes sure that some things can change, get better,
Mm-hmm.
and or stay good. So if that can still exist in the future, that would be nice.
Mm-hmm. What about the language?
Yeah, why not? I like the fact that many people speak English, for example. It's a nice way to communicate with. But if everyone spoke English or one language,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know, because in a way it's practical, but at the same time I find it nice that there are different languages and they all have their particularities, or so I like the language. Yeah, I think
Mm-hmm.
might as well it stays alive. Yeah.
Yeah. And can you explain why so many people around the world think that French is such a sexy language and
Romantic.
romantic? Yeah. Do you know why?
Good question, because I think the French language sounds quite monotone
How?
compared to Italian. It's like very monotone in the sense that
Hmm.
Okay.
I see.
it doesn't change that much.
Yeah.
It's not very musical, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
And compared to Italian, for example,
Mm-hmm.
um, and I think it's a stereotype, or that the French culture is romantic.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, maybe it sounds quite soft like that in a way,
Mm-hmm.
and it's hard to really realize how your language is perceived from from outside, because I'm used to it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's true that it's considered romantic.
Yeah.
And many people like it. Yeah.
Yeah, especially women.
Mhm.
And when you were traveling, did people ask you, like, did they say something in French?
Yes, sometimes I guess.
Mm-hmm.
If especially people who are learning French, I think it was quite popular to learn French. So I met some people who were learning French.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I helped them with that. I think it's one of the best ways to learn languages is to do a language exchange. So I like to help out with that and to teach it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And
it's happened. Yeah, I think it's quite a popular language to learn.
yeah. Yeah, but for us it's quite difficult because, for example, you have 10 letters, but you read only 5. So it's so different.
It's true that the spelling is difficult, even for French people.
Wow. Then it's okay if we make mistakes. Yeah. If you locals make some mistakes,
Definitely. Yeah.
What is the other misconception people have about France?
And yeah, there's a lot of stereotypes, like that French people are rude. And I think that's especially in Paris, actually. And because most people who go to France, they go to Paris, then they think that everyone in France is like that. But it's mostly in Paris people are rude.
Yeah.
And it's true, it's happened to me. Sometimes I would be in the street, ask some guy, "Oh, do you know this street?" Because I was lost. And he's like, "Yeah, I know this street." And then he didn't explain where it was. And this kind of attitude, that's just funny, because maybe people know that this is the stereotype, so they play with it. And that makes them stay rude in a way. It's this kind of true, but like every stereotype is only a part of people that are like that. Complaining all the time, I guess I talked about that a bit, and this it's kind of misconceptions that are kind of true. In the south of France, the stereotype may be that people swear a lot or are louder, and it's true, it's kind of true. People are more Mediterranean. It's this culture.
Yeah.
I guess another one would be that people are arrogant, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of being French and that. And the same, it's true for some people, but it can be the case anywhere, I think, and a lot of people are not, and
Mm-hmm.
people here try to be open-minded,
Yeah.
and it's a diverse country.
Mm-hmm. And the French humor is uh, also something that Hassan and I we enjoy, especially the movies.
Comedy movies?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like babysitting. So this kind of movie, it's the humor is a little bit different, but it's so funny.
Okay, nice. What's the movie? Babysitting?
Babysitter or
Babysitter or babysit?
Uh-huh.
It's about the guy who with his friends. So they take to a
take care
camera
of
the whole their journey, and at the end somebody else watches it. So you haven't seen that movie?
Uh, no, I've not seen this one. But it's
Mm-hmm.
interesting what you're saying about humor. How would you say, how would you define French humor?
Um,
it's
it's
like it's strange but funny, huh?
yeah, the awkward moments, especially they
Mm-hmm.
get into like the movie Taxi, also
Right. Yeah.
like something like yeah. So the way um they show how they are weird,
Something
yeah,
like
the
that.
weird things,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
situations.
Taxi is a cult movie, and it's set in Marseille, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
people from here are proud of it, yeah, in a way, because it shows
Mm.
the city and
Mm-hmm.
some jokes about that as well. So
Yeah.
um, yeah, it's even though it's
Yeah,
quite
because
old now, everyone remembers it and knows it.
mm-hmm. Yeah, because with other European movies, we don't get them. We don't understand them. Yeah, it's hard to
It's
get the point.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, and what culture besides your own do you admire and why?
Good question. I mean, I admire many other cultures,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess in France you can see many cultures from around the world because French is spoken in other countries than France,
Mm-hmm.
like a lot of African countries, for example, in North Africa. So in Marseille is even more diverse than here,
Mm-hmm.
and you have a mix of different cultures from North Africa, or and also I guess from neighboring countries like Italy, you have from Armenia, from Spain, etc. And I enjoy every culture that I can discover. To be honest,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
for me I'm really curious, so everything that I can learn, I enjoy it. And
Mm-hmm.
actually, I'm going to move to Mayotte this summer, which is a French island on the coast of Africa. So
Mm-hmm.
it's also interesting because it's Muslim with also
Mm-hmm.
African culture and also French culture. So it's a nice
Wow.
mix also. And I
Wow.
enjoy
Cool.
this idea of sharing and to
Mm-hmm.
accept every culture.
Yeah. Cool.
And I really enjoyed learning about Tajik culture
Mm-hmm.
because it's also a kind of mix of Persian culture with also
Mm-hmm.
Russian culture.
Yeah.
And especially in Khojan where you live, it's in between, I mean, close to 3 different countries also.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really interesting to see.
Mm-hmm. And what is your favorite place to visit with your family, your friends, or on your own?
Um, I like to go for walks in nature, and for example, the mountain that I mentioned, it's a nice place to walk because it's
Mm-hmm.
not too high. I think it's around 600 meters high or something. So it's quite easy to climb, and you have a nice view from the top.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice place you can go for the afternoon. I like also going to the sea or to the lakes. I like swimming,
Mm-hmm.
so that's nice places to go. Now it's getting warmer, so
Mm-hmm.
soon it will be time to go swimming.
There's also one thing we wanted to ask you about students that they study only 4 days a week. Is that true?
That's true in primary school.
Only primary school.
In
So
primary
they
school,
study.
the Wednesday is off,
Oh. Mm-hmm.
so it's like known as Children's Day, because
Mm-hmm.
they have the day off, and
Mm-hmm.
they are free to do what they want. So usually, children go to school on Monday, Tuesday, and then Thursday, Friday, from like 8:30 to 4:30.
Wow.
Is
Yeah, the
that not the
students here,
case in Tajikistan?
no, it's they like 6 days a week, Monday
Whoa,
to Saturday,
the whole day?
from 8 to 1 p.m. or like 2 p.m.
Sometimes
Yeah,
it's 3.
so 5 6 hours almost every
Okay,
day.
maybe it's a bit shorter days,
Mm-hmm.
and for more days then.
Mm-hmm.
But then in high school, there's more hours. Yeah.
And about the food, what food would you recommend to try?
Um, in Aix-en-Provence, the
Yeah.
specialty is a
Yeah.
sweet called calisson, and
Mm-hmm.
it's almond paste
Yeah.
with a sugar coating on top. It's in the shape of an almond.
Mm-hmm.
That's really nice. I would put that in the box also for the future, I think. And
Okay.
yeah, I would recommend that because you cannot really find it in other places.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I guess usually every place in France has their own specialty, and that's special from this town.
Yeah. And where people can find it in the market?
Yeah, in market there's some special shops
Mm-hmm.
that specialize in that. But even in the supermarket, maybe you find it in this
Mm-hmm.
region. Yeah.
Yeah. And what about the food? It's difficult to read it. Bouillabaisse.
Yeah, you say it right. Bouillabaisse.
Mm-hmm. Baisse.
It's typical from Marseille. It's a fish soup,
Mm-hmm.
and I never really tried it actually. Not really fan, but some people really like it. It can be
Mm-hmm.
actually quite expensive also, depending on the restaurant. So it's like a special meal that you wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
eat every day, and it's typical for Marseille.
Oh, I see. And can you also find it in Aix-en-Provence?
Um, Maybe, but not so easily.
Mm-hmm.
I guess because it's
I see.
further away from the sea also. Marseille
Oh,
is
yeah,
more
makes sense.
famous for seafood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what is the best time to visit Aix-en-Provence?
I think that here the summer can be quite hot actually,
Uh-huh.
even though it's I mean a typical time for holidays. So there's a lot of tourists in the summer,
Mm-hmm.
and okay, it's not bad. You can go swimming and that, but actually it can be quite hot. So I would recommend maybe a bit before the summer or after the summer. So yeah, like maybe around May
Mm-hmm.
or around September, because
Oh.
it's still nice weather. You can go swimming in that, and it's not too hot either.
Mm-hmm.
Then if you come in the winter, it's fine also. It's not too far from mountains, but and it's still sunny. But you cannot go swimming, so yeah, I would say May or September.
Mm-hmm. And what about those flowers you mentioned?
Lavender. They're violet, they're purple,
Uh-huh.
and the time of lavender, I guess it's starting now, so it would be from spring onwards. And they are known for also their soothing property, so they have a relaxing and calming effect. So you can have some of these flowers in a little bag and keep it, for example, in your bed or in your bedroom or something, and that will make you feel relaxed and happy.
Okay, and the last question, how people can find you?
You mean on Facebook or?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Home
on
address.
Facebook, Kim Sims is my name. So you can find me on that. If you have any questions, if you want to come visit Aix-en-Provence, you're most welcome. And I'd be glad to help you with anything, learning French or.
Actually, there is one more question. What do you want to add something before we finish this conversation?
Before we wrap up, anything else that you would like to share or to say?
I would like to say that it's been a pleasure doing this interview, and thank you for that. I also want to say, if anyone wants any tips about here, it's always nice to help out, depending on what you want to do, what your interests are, and it's always easier to visit a place when you know some tips from someone who lives there. So I want to say, feel free to contact me if you're coming to visit. Depending if I'm here or not, I can always help you out. And you're most welcome to come here.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So kind of you. So Kim, thank you so much for taking the time, and merci. Yeah.
Merci, ouais. Merci à vous. My pleasure.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, guys.
And how do you say bye?
Salut.
On peut dire salut. Au revoir.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
Or ciao.
Um,
Also, ciao.
Ciao. Yeah.
Ciao.
It's
One is easy.
Yeah. Much easier.
That's what we say more in the south with friends. Okay,
Yeah.
ciao.
All right,
les gars.
ciao then.
Ciao. Thank you so much for listening to our podcast. If you have any questions or comments, you can send us an email at theachilofs@gmail.com. And you can find us on all the major podcast platforms like Spotify, Google, Apple Podcast, Castbox, and so on. Until next time, goodbye.